It's time for arguably Australia's #1 beer podcast, The Step Brewers. With your hosts, Papa Sweden and the Pilly Panther, formerly known as the Juice Wolf. Oh, and the Weg. Take it away, boys.
Thank you, my man Dennis. Thank you, sir.
You're not my man, Dennis.
You're off, Dennis.
Not feeling the energy, Dennis.
Well, before we kick off and before I introduce my co-host here has had a bit of a day. He's had a bit of a long day.
I smell like farts, and I've been in the car eating Subway, and I've got marinara sauce on the jumper.
He's driven from an
I'm feeling a bit raw.
He's driven from an elopement. He's grumpy. He's walked straight in and smashed a beer from our guest today. And he might just crack himself another one.
Hey.
I am your host, Papa Sweden. With me, my beautiful co-host, the Pilly Panther.
I'm still here. I'm so excited. Very exciting guest on the show, so I can't miss it.
New favourite of the fans, the Weg.
Yes, I am here.
No webcam this week.
No webcam this week. No webcam week.
We needed a rest.
We've got a guest. So
the
we've
guest is
cut the webcam out, so you will see no shirtless Weg photos this week. I'm really
Rest
sorry.
assured, though, I am here in my underwear.
Very good, very good. Now, this guest. It's been said that if you look to the north on the third day at sunrise, he'll appear astride an undead beast, a beer bong in one hand, a bag of hops in the other, and his luscious mane blowing in the wind. He's routinely involved in an evil megacorporation and likely exploits hops, malt, and barrels for his own evil gain.
Naughty.
Do you know who we're talking about?
Well, I do.
He comes to us from the other side. It's Rhys from Otherside! Oh, this has been long overdue.
You haven't done one of those long-winded intros for a guest in quite a while. How'd that feel?
I've been pretty horny about it, actually.
Welcome, Rhys.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us. That was an amazing intro.
Oh, I can actually, now that I've seen the hair for real, IRL, the kids are saying.
It's pretty beautiful.
I can see you astride that undead horse.
Grew it all myself.
Now, Rhys, other side, wanting to have him on for a moment. I've had a mad man crush on his beers for a long time. I think we all have.
I think we all have, yeah.
We've been receiving them from the ambassador of WA, Rob Stew. Thank you, Rob. For some years now. Even the dirty black IPAs have been sent across, which has been lovely. We kick off this show, as we always do. What have you been drinking that is delicious the last few weeks?
I've got a confession. Not a Foo Fighters confession, but I've got another confession. I've been on the Natty Wines.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
That sounds like toilet time.
Wow.
Well, the certain event that Clint and I did partake in a couple of weeks ago, Bottle Tops 2021, was lovely. There was also beer there. Topher was there. Went and pestered him for a bit.
Pestered him a lot.
2 metre tall as well. So there was a couple of beer offerings.
I heard you bought some Cantillon too, you beer nerd.
But there was also Cantillon available to purchase from just the fridge.
You're a sellout, bro.
And that was nice. But yeah, it had some really good Natty Wines. Not a thing I get into that often because I don't have enough money for the craft beer world, let alone getting into Natty Wines. But shout out to Built to Spill.
I was about to say, shout out to Built to Spill. That was
my favourite winery of the day. So yeah, I bought a bottle of Built to Spill, Die Hard is Murder collaborational wine, and it was great.
very fun.
So that was great. That's what I've been drinking.
Welcome to the Step Brewers Wine Podcast.
This is a red.
Well. Weggy, what have you had delicious in this last few weeks since episode? Anything stand out?
I haven't really had much to drink, to be perfectly honest.
Hey,
I've
that's
been
okay,
on the
King.
waters. Yeah.
That's okay, King.
I've had a few table beers. It's just all the same. Every episode, I just say table beer. I think.
You bought another case. You must be getting low.
Here I am.
That is totally fine. Rhys, what have you been drinking delicious of late?
I actually, sorry, I'm not getting you fallback, so I'm sorry if I'm speaking too loudly or not loudly enough. Please just...
You're beautiful.
You sound
perfect level.
Magical.
All right, thank you. I actually just came off a week of not drinking because I was doing the Eat Like a Refugee challenge, so I really missed beer.
Wow.
And mainly double IPA. But we have a new double IPA that we just packed, and I have a 4-pack sitting for me. I was going to take it home so I could drink with you boys, but yeah, I forgot to. So kind of been
that's
yeah,
nasty.
I forgot to drink it.
That's
Yeah,
nasty.
I know it sucks. So I have one before I left work, and yeah. So for the last week and a bit, I've had a couple of the beers that have been in my fridge, including the indie that I left in my car for the entire week that I wasn't drinking, and now it's cooked and really shitty. So yeah, it's been a really good time.
You've been working hard. I have had a couple of delicious beverages,
Well,
I will say.
when do you not, though?
I was very impressed with the Hawkins barley wine.
Oh, actually, I did drink that. Now that you say that, I didn't drink all of it. I've got 2 cans. I couldn't drink the whole fucking can.
I wondered about that with you. That's a big beer.
I had about half of it,
It's
which I thought was a good effort.
it's a delicious beverage, but
What did you think of your first ever barley wine?
It was very nice, actually. No, it's not my first barley
Oh,
one because
sorry.
I had that Deeds one in the Canvan Gala.
Oh, yes.
well,
But it was actually very nice.
it made me dig
I was
out
very
something
happy.
from the cellar, which you guys have termed the Klimt beer graveyard. But I actually have a little barley wine from Otherside that I picked up from Rob's Stew.
I guess we better drink that tonight then.
Well,
That's been when did we get
and
that?
I also have this little bad boy from the cellar, which is an Amberana Russian Imperial Stout from the Canvent, which Weg,
Lockie's favourite.
one of your favourite beers of the Canvent.
I've been given that beer a couple of times and it's been
And I've
taken
taken
back
it
a couple of
back.
times.
Yes, I have
so
indeed.
thanks.
Will we open it tonight?
Yes, we will.
Who's to know?
Like to think
Oh,
so.
I can't
But-
wait for notes of watching The Grinch on Christmas Eve. Absolutely pissed with my in-laws.
But I have been gifted a little treat
Oh, no.
from the great beyond Melbourne.
Some say this beer doesn't actually exist.
Now, I know you all thought it wasn't real, but
Just ask Faz.
surprise, surprise, I got a case of fucking Larry. And
The amount of content that is going to be made with
I
that.
can't wait for
Is-
Larry to win the Gabs Hottest 100 in 2022.
so if
2020.
you're not going to the Great Beyond in Coburg, in Melbourne at the moment, you're probably not getting any Larry because it's not available anywhere else in the world.
Wowee.
Step Brewers podcast is proudly presented by Preachers
Larry.
Hobart
Oh, sorry, preachers.
and potentially Larry in the near future. One of Australia's best beer gardens, 14 rotating taps, independent beer, epic burgers, and the home of Steppies Live, which winter edition.
Winter
The
edition.
talks are continuing, and it's looking pretty spesh. We're also proudly brought to you by our Patreon, the friends and homies of the show.
Good,
Oh, thank you
Good to
very
fucking
much.
have you.
If you want to be part of the Patreon, you can hit
From
the...
as little as $2.80 per month.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, something like that.
That's cheap.
You always ask every episode, is that how much it is? You find out, mate. Just do some bit of research.
I'll do some research.
No, become part of the Patreon. We've got exclusive group. You can chalk to Brewers. We've got a little intimate, sexy group on Facebook.
You might see photos of Ali without his shirt on.
Raw thoughts, after episode raw thoughts.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
For people who don't know what that is, it's an exclusive bonus tidbit. Of,
A mini episode.
like a mini episode, 20, 30 minutes where we just get real brutally honest. We still do bleep words.
and
Just
Ali
for
usually
Peloton.
just rags on Akasha for 20 minutes.
Yeah,
it's
and it's
really
always
beautiful.
good content.
Just the branding.
And if you are watching on YouTube, please do like
Hit
and
a-
subscribe.
You're a sellout.
Hey, it works. You tell people to do stuff and they do it. And it's not more so just stroking egos, although Klimt does like his ego stroketh.
This is true. This is true.
It does push our videos to other beer nerds around the globe, so we would really appreciate your support
We
and
appreciate you anyway, even if you don't do that, but please do it.
Now, Ali, I have to apologise to you. We don't have a sip, skip, or seller this week.
That's okay.
But I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here.
Right.
Because we don't have the segment. Is there anything in the beer community right now that you'd like to sip, skip, or cellar? I'll start you off. I am not on board with people stacking their can purchases into walls.
Shout out to Scott Eaton.
Scotty, I know you do it, man, but no, I'm not.
Don't you put that
I'm not
list
into
on
this.
top there. That's
I'm
going
not-
to fall and
I'm not into this
So
at
you're
all.
not-
I think
okay.
this is silly.
Okay.
I think the effort we have to do to take all the 4-pack holders off that someone lovingly applied is just wrong. So
for those listening at home,
Can
Klimt
walls.
has just made a really big can wall out of
Not many cans.
Well, not many cans.
Not many, well, apparently that's not good enough. So if the camera can see the golden can
Hang on,
wall,
what is this trophy?
Wow.
the golden can
Are you
wall,
telling me that's still not done?
the golden can wall that Topher did not want to take home on the plane with him. Hot tip.
Understandable.
Well, I understand with the craftsmanship this is. Why would you want to take that home? It's disgraceful.
I'm pretty impressed, actually.
No.
So is there anything you'd like to sip, skip, or sell, Evan? Something positive you've seen?
I don't like can hang photos. So if we're going to keep talking about shit I'm seeing on the internet, don't do one of these. Like a can hang.
Make sure you show Rhys too. Rhys can't see that.
No, I can kind of see it.
I feel like it's been too long since I've said shout out to Beer Thread. He's dead.
Yeah.
Fuck you and your can hangs.
No,
No one does
pretty
it on
good,
there.
pretty good energy in there. Look, no, I think everything's been pretty good, plain smooth sailing on
Feeling happy?
beer
I've got one.
socials as
I've
of
got
late.
one. Skip, Brewdog, Cellar, inclusive and positive work environments.
Lovely
Fuck
work.
you,
Hey,
Brewdog.
Hey,
that's great energy from
Yeah.
you, Weg.
That's beautiful. That's
Seriously, not okay.
Now, Rhys, give us something. Have you got something to sip? Something you don't mind? Continue it. Something to skip. Get it in the bin. Maybe cellar. Something that's amazing. Any little stories for us?
I think for me, this seems like it might be something you guys aren't particularly into, but I think sip double IPA. It's really black IPA.
Oh,
It's
that's
not-
Jesus!
no,
bleep
Is
that.
a thing?
no.
I
Klimt,
personally.
Funny you should say that.
well, you did send us some
Look,
black IPA, so Klimt is going to.
Is this a thing? Is this a thing?
we
Klimt doesn't
it
like
is-
it.
it is Black IPA season.
We
Black IPA
accept
season.
all opinions, vast and varying in nature, but you're wrong.
I enjoy it.
Let's open the black IPA next then, I suppose.
Have you? No, serious
Well, I
question.
mean,
I've never had a
what
black
do you
IPA.
drink it at?
I've never had a
Okay.
black IPA.
So we've got the vinyl black. You've never had a black IPA?
No, so we'll
Is that
open
because I
next.
trash them all the time?
Yeah. Why would I drink it when you're always going, oh, shit?
I
You should-
actually have had some good ones though. And Rhys,
Well,
you're
this
responsible.
This one just won champion dark beer at the Perth World Beer Awards.
Oh, well, guess
Oh,
we...
well,
a week ago.
fucking drinking that,
So
aren't we?
it goes
Brag
okay.
about it, Rhys.
I said to you before that happened, but,
Yeah.
but you know, like
Is that why you're wearing the t-shirt? Just subtly. Is it going to be
No,
video
that-
tonight, guys?
No, that's because this is what I wore to work. I only wear shirts that are free. You know, like if
Like
you guys
that.
want to send me a shirt, I'll wear it.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
that's
can
good
see if we've got
energy.
any shirts. Now, I do want to crack the vinyl black IPA
Sugar maple Rhys, though.
because triple vinyl black IPA was delicious, and I got sent that, and I got abused on a show where they made me drink black IPAs for an hour and a half.
Well-
and the triple vinyl was fan-fucking-tastic.
Let's
But
know-
should
let's-
we open the New World Hazy
What I was about
first?
to say to
Should we set
Rhys
the palate?
is, what should we open first, Rhys? We've got the vinyl black IPA on the table. We've also got sugar maple Rhys. I mean, wouldn't that be nice to open right now? Also, the New World Hazy and
Super Sabbath.
Super Sabbath. So, if we're going to do a little bit of a vertical with you tonight, what are you
Choose-
thinking?
choose our
What are you
adventure.
pitching?
Yeah, you choose our adventure.
Well, I think light to dark is always a good way to do it.
Yeah.
We released the vinyl and the New World Hazy at the same time. They were the same ABV. What I didn't do, which I do like to do because it's just fun, is try and aim for them to be two different final gravities so that you can layer them. Not that it's
Ooh,
a practical
okay.
thing.
That's
Not-
fun. That
not
is fun.
I mean, with these ones, I don't think you can. But I mean, if I was going to try, I'd probably bend a spoon and try and put the black on top.
okay.
But yeah, and I'd probably start with the New World Hazy. first.
All right, we'll start out with that. We have had
Yeah.
the delicious. Well, you had it because you were grumpy. The Harvest Red
I've
Ale,
not been that grumpy. I've been
Hey, I had some.
posy vibes, baby.
and you shared the IPA.
I had one of the Harvest,
the Reds. You're a big
the
Red
Reds. I had one last episode, I think, as well, actually.
fan. I think you did too.
Yeah, it was lovely beer.
Very nice. Very nice.
Not enough of that shit.
Well, let's jump into the content. We've got no official sip skip, but that is fine. That is fine. I apologise.
I can continue if you want.
Well, Rhys, tell us about Otherside. How did Otherside come to be? How did you get involved with Otherside? How did it all come about? Tell us the story of Otherside.
So about 5 years ago now. I was approached. I was working. I'd previously worked at Gage Roads for a little while, and Gage Roads at the time was really quite focused on doing contract brewing and all that kind of stuff. So, which is actually like a lot of people, look down on contract brewing and all that kind of stuff. But for a brewer, it's actually a fantastic way to learn because you get to experience a whole range of styles and you get to see how different people will formulate a recipe and those kinds of things. And you get to experience like volume production, in these big breweries when you're making 4 beers a shift, you really get to learn a lot and see how things play out. And it's a fantastic education, like it may not be as passionate, it may be a bit kind of more mercenary and it's not like a passion project, but you really get to learn a lot just from engaging in a lot of different styles and a lot of different beers and just kind of that throughput kind of thing, which is, at the end of the day, all these things are businesses and they've got to make money. So that kind of throughput is a really important aspect that someone needs to learn if they're going to run a brewery one day.
Yeah, and really good, and like really good QC and like SOPs and stuff. Like I think that's something
100%.
Maybe we spend a lot of time trashing big brewers.
Yeah,
but it's something I very much value. I think,
but some
small brewers could learn a lot from that
brewers that come from big brewers generally have really good quality control and all those processes in place. So
can we expand on that point as well, just for people who are newer to craft beer like myself, with contract brewing? What is the whole, I don't know if it's stigma is the right word, but how established brewers look down on contract? Is that just because you don't have your own stainless, or what's that about? Like you don't...
What do I think it is?
Well, I just want to know why there seems to be the thing that it's looked down upon. Like, why is that an issue?
I think it's an important distinction to make between contract brewing and gypsy brewing.
Yeah.
I think contract brewing tends to be a corporate interest that doesn't have the volume or doesn't want to put in the capital expansion to create a substantial brewery when they can just borrow from someone else that's already put in a substantial amount of capital expansion, who's got spare capacity, and then brew it through them as a kind of as a way of lessening the running costs per litre for the contract, like the contractee brewery.
Yeah, it gets them the economies of scale, really.
Exactly. So the person that's built this massive brewery, they get to kind of get more capital flow through their company, and then there's someone who wants to make a thing that is kind of like craft washed and looks like it's this local independent blah blah blah, but it's like owned by some multinational corporation.
Okay.
But on the other hand, I think there's gypsy brewing, which is kind of more like a couple of people with a dream. They want to do a thing, but they don't have the capital to do it, and then they can go and do it through someone else's equipment and work on that equipment and make a thing. And I think there's a distinction between that, but there's also a gradient between that. Like there's a lot of gaps in between, and a lot of people will judge a contract beer presuming it's like a Coles or Woolworths or some other multinational thing trying to enter into that space by craft washing a brand that's made at a factory somewhere. And then on the other end of the scale, there's a couple of friends that are like, hey, we really like this homebrew that we do. We're gonna just do it for no extra profit and just sell it to our favorite bar. And there's all the different graduations in between that are different and should be considered differently.
Because at Gage,
it's hard to do that.
Yeah, because at Gage Road, so you would have been, I'm trying to think back to then, you're brewing like Woolworths brands primarily.
Yes. Yeah.
But Gage Roads have had a real, not that we want to have on about Gage Roads, but they've sort of shifted away since then.
They really have, yeah.
And
so that happened after I
cool.
left.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So when I was there, it was mainly doing like a big winery would come in and they'd want to do a couple of beer brands to boost their label, or like so be Coles and Woolworths and all that kind of stuff. And Gage Roads' own brands were really in the corner. But I mean, the great thing about the time that I worked at Gage Roads in that time, like while it wasn't great and it wasn't wasn't validating the beers that we're making, what was really fantastic is like at that time the commitment to quality and all that kind of stuff. So like Gage Roads had quite a famous recall when they had a bacterial contamination issue, and I came in 6 weeks after that had happened.
Oh wow!
And so everything was super paranoid, and so the ideas about cleanliness and all that kind of stuff were right to the front. And that was my first ever production brewery.
Wow.
So being able to learn from people that were just, super paranoid about everything was actually the best thing that could possibly happen to me, be super paranoid all the time. And I think, as they've kind of bought back their share and all that kind of stuff, they've actually done really well and kicked a lot of goals, and I'm really happy for them, It's definitely, I mean, they're definitely the biggest player in WA at the moment, and why I want to shit on those guys because they're the big guys, but they've definitely kicked some real goals.
Yeah, well, that's a great place to start, where you get a lot of good quality control in place, and I think a lot of brewers coming up in the industry might miss out on those kind of processes from the get-go. So that's a great place to start. So from there, what happens next in your story?
Before that even, I was studying journalism at university, and I was talking to a guy who I told him I was going to go do a night field job at the local supermarket, and he was like, nah, that's boring. Come work at this restaurant I work at, and that restaurant was Little Creatures. And so I kind of fell in love with craft beer then. This is back 2004 kind of thing. So I worked there for a number of years, and then I kind of did my journalism stuff. It wasn't really where I wanted to be. So I travelled for a bit, and I'd kind of travelled around WA and then Australia. So I lived in Broome for a bit. I worked at Maxos, and then I went through kind of South Australia, Victoria. Travelled Tasmania a bit, but never worked there. But like kind of interspersing it with travelling overseas, and I kind of just fell in love with craft beer, and it was one thing I really missed about Western Australia, because Western Australia at that time was way better than everywhere else. Like in terms of the quality and the consistency of craft beer. Obviously, that's completely changed these days. Like the East Coast and Melbourne was kind of really kicked it off, and then New South Wales. Anyway, doesn't matter. I'm ranting. But kind of by the time I was about 25, I just had this really I've fallen in love with beer, and I was like, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. And so then I started being a sales rep, and I started doing that kind of thing. I did that in WA for a little while, and then eventually moved into brewing. So then I worked at Gage Roads for a little while. Before that I was a sales rep at Nail, and I was a sales rep selling some East Coast brands. So, I did Corinda back when that was a thing. And
shout out to Corinda Black IPA.
Yeah, 100%. And Two Birds back when that first launched. I was the WA guy for that. And then moved on from that. Eventually got into production. So after Gage Roads for a bit, I then was working at the Muck, which is a kind of small little brew pub in the middle of Fremantle.
Nice.
And I was distilling, so I was doing that part-time, so I was doing new product development. So they had a great brewer called Mal Securable at the time, and he was doing his thing there, and I would just come in and help out with new product development and kind of be his offsider. And then
Sweet.
And then from there, I went over to, I was also working at the same time with Hippocampus. So I was making vodka and gin and stuff like that. And then, so then after that, I kind of got a message on Facebook from these guys who were worked in the music industry, and they used to do festivals and all that kind of stuff, and they wanted to make a beer for a festival. And I was like, yeah, cool, we could make a beer. I'd done the other side of the gypsy thing, well, not the gypsy thing, the kind of contract thing. And I was like, here's what you got to look out for, you're never going to make any money doing this. It's really just to kind of get your name out there, If you're going to sell it wholesale, you won't make money. But if you're going to sell it for a festival, it's great. If you're going to just sell this and then sell it as a festival as pints, yeah, it'll do great. And so they're like, oh no, but we kind of want to progress it from there. We want to keep going. And once we've made a beer that we like, we want to keep making it. I said, well, in that case, the only way to make money is to get a brewery. And 2 years later, we got there, and and that was festive ale, and then after that, now we're a brewery, and that's what we do now.
It's crazy. 2 years as well. It's a very, very quick turnaround to go from just making a couple of festival beers to actually having a space. Is
it?
Oh, in Tassie, in Tassie, I look at some people that might be sitting maybe next to me. It takes a little bit longer than 2 years, but that's okay.
Shout out to Glenorchy City Council. You're my favourite.
So I'm more of the Tasmanian speed of pace generally. So I'm like 2 years. I'm like, wow, that's very nice.
You build 32 car parks for your fucking brewery. Gee,
Okay.
Sorry, I'm having a raw day.
But
on
maybe
that.
you can have your own solo rant after the show.
Yeah, we'll
if
rant.
anyone
Well,
wants to.
look, I put it this way. I think they lost money just on my wage for that entire 2 years. So I was like, we need to speed this up, if I'm going to keep my job.
That's so good.
Is there part of that story where the balloon and the barrel comes from? Because I've been wanting to know about that forever.
So we had a guy who was actually a guy that used to do a lot of stuff at the festivals back in the day, and he never liked the name Otherside because he thought it was kind of sinister.
Okay.
And so and it can definitely be interpreted that way. But then he was reading a book to his toddler, and then in that book was a picture of a balloon. And the kid was asking, was like, well, what's that? It's like, oh, it's an air balloon, all that kind of stuff. But he had this realization that there's something about hot air balloons that just has this aspect of whimsy.
It does.
No one has a negative association with a hot air balloon. It's not like a Zeppelin,
Zeppelins suck.
Like that's different, But the hot air balloon just has this kind of aspect of it of like wonder and whimsy and all that kind of stuff, and is like that could be a great thing to attach to Otherside. And then and I actually came on when they had the branding already sorted.
Yep.
And I saw the barrels and I was like, what that means. we got to do some cool shit with ales. Yeah, exactly. So I kind of seized that opportunity and kind of ran with it for my own personal selfish reasons.
Well, if I ever saw a barrel attached to a hot air balloon, I'd be quite interested.
I'd be taking photos of it.
It reminds me of the movie Up, which is obviously a very good time.
Yeah, it's
Also a great song by Cardi B.
I was going to say, it's a very sad movie though, mate.
Mate, in 3 minutes, they brought a grown man to tears, and my son's like, "Are you all right, Daddy?" And I'm like, "No, I'm not okay. Have you just seen this movie? Are you watching the same film? This is fucked."
He's like, balloon, Dad, dog.
Yeah, balloon, dog, birdie, and I'm just like, oh, their relationship was so special.
Moving on.
It's okay, mate. Look out for Clint's movie analysis podcast coming out.
Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen.
Pixar.
Oh, shit.
Oh, dear. But, after 2 years, so many amazing beers we have had. I'd
We've
say
had a
in those
lot.
2 years, thanks to...
No, sorry, it's been 5 years now.
Oh,
five
sorry.
total.
Okay, it was yes.
Yeah.
Well, within those 5 years, we have, in the last nearly 3 years of doing this podcast, been sent so many good beers from our very good man, Rob Stew. And
Remember that double IPA headliner? Won our West Coast, East Coast face-off where we did a big blind tasting and selected the best beer, and it was 4 or 5 months old, and it beat everything out. It was all of us were yeah, that one. What's that one? Unwrapped it, and I was like, oh, thank you, Rob.
absolutely. Yeah. But, out of all the amazing beers we've started to receive from you guys, a bit of a reputation has built up over here in Tassie, and the Steppies Awards. We're like, how do we mix up the Steppies Awards so we can actually get, some state categories in here so we can give a bit of love to you guys over there, because it feels like, we never get much WA beer over here, especially in Tassie. It's always a bit more of an effort and likewise with Tassie beer going over there, I'm sure. But, this year you got nominated for, the Steppies Awards. Yeah, Brewery of the Year. You won Brewery of the Year for your state. which is amazing. So congratulations. I'm sure you were absolutely thrilled when you heard the news. But you're along, how does it feel to be considered along some of the best names in the industry like Wildflower, Deeds, Little Bang, Black Hops and Nacho?
It feels like a mistake. I mean, there's a lot of fantastic brewers in Western Australia. Like, I think, I think Rob Stewart probably deserves a lot of kudos for that by promoting our stuff. I think I'm honoured that you guys really like the beers that we make. That's all it comes down to.
Well, it wasn't just us. Well, we threw it over to the WA panel, and that's
technically it's nothing to do with us.
Actually, technically had nothing to do with this.
We had no input.
It was the WA panel, so they actually decided that you were the best brewer for your state.
I'm just downloading the notes that they sent through. If I can work my phone, don't make a boomer comment, Wig.
And my work here is done.
Yeah, well, if you don't need to do it, you can do it for yourself.
It's not working. But what I was going to say is, the judges in WA just talked about you guys knowing your lane, executing to style with a variety of style. You were nominated in most categories for WA, and then up against the best in the beers, which we were stoked to see it as well, because we didn't have any input in the awards this year. Our judges did all the states, and then we only had input in the nationals. It was bloody lovely to see. I will not lie.
Yeah. So what makes you think that how is Otherside? What are the locals thinking of the beer? Is it really well perceived over there? What are they liking? And can you elaborate on that a little bit?
Well, I mean, I have a biased opinion on how we're well received. I think we're quite well received. I think people tend to like us, but that's because 3 days a week I'm in the bar after work having a beer, and people come by and tell me how much I like the beer. But I think that kind of just happens when you're a brewer in a bar. I mean, maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm underplaying it, but like. I think the locals really like us. Where we are in Mairie is like this industrial area that is like quite a small industrial area, but has a lot of people around there that are kind of underserviced. So everyone comes there. Like we've got a lot of bars and a lot of factories and stuff around us that'll come there for an after work beer. But we also get like some people come from far away to come and drink our beers and stuff. We got a really great tight little hospo offering, and we just we're a bit relentless with our offerings. We offer variations on a theme, kind of 2-3 times a month, and then like an experiment, like kind of a seasonal beer every 3 months or so. And like we playing to our strengths, as you mentioned, kind of we stick within our wheelhouse of things that we know people like, but kind of push the envelope a little bit in that we're trying to expand what we know that we can do well. We kind of push it a little bit, but try and stay true to what our hardcore fans really like.
Awesome.
It's beautiful.
Speaking of hardcore fans, I'm going to open the Black IPA.
Shit.
Now, I do.
At least Rhys has got a chance to sell it to you before you put it in your mouth this time. So
you can try, sir. We did do an episode that fans will remember because it was a fan favourite, where I just drank Black IPAs for an hour and a half while you and a previous host drank the rest of the pack that Rob Stew sent us.
Yes.
So you were drinking Headliner.
Headliner, that was great. Really got around that. Double IPA.
One of our favourites.
So Clint, what do you hate about Black IPA?
Yeah, let's get into it.
I think it's.
Can you just give me a little bit of that so I can try it?
I think it's been built up to more than it is. I never said I hate Black IPAs, did I?
I think you did.
what I actually said is I hate badly made black IPAs, of which
I don't recall hearing that.
of which I think there are many out there. But no, I think of late, there's been a few black IPAs in the marketplace that have tickled my pickle. The idea of
Was it
them,
the
ballistic, the sound
the
of
kaiju as well? You were actually
I know the Kaiju Black IPA is a Aussie classic.
the moon.
The Clutho
Clutho.
on the moon.
Clutho.
I just like them to be done really well, and I think that's hard.
But in the Black IPA episode, yeah, there was another
beer of
side
the
there.
day was the triple vinyl, which
So, sorry to interrupt. A couple of things. First one, the triple vinyl actually came out of COVID when we first got into lockdown, and none of the carpet walkers in the office were around, and it was just the brewers kind of hanging out after work, brewers and sales crew.
I love that term.
And we were blending our Russian Imperial Stout with our double IPA, and we're like, "Fuck, we can do this better." And that's where the triple vinyl came from, because vinyl was a beer that we made a number of years ago, but we stopped making it. But we're like, we can do it better. Anyway, the other thing was, Clint, I get the feeling that you have been around craft beer for a really long time.
You're jaded.
No,
Jaded.
not that Clint is jaded, but more the fact that
He is.
I think IPA has shifted.
IPA
So I
shifted
think-
a lot. Yeah.
I think where IPA was 10, 15 years ago as this incredibly bitter, quite piney kind of 100 IBU thing, when people were mixing that with a black ale, it was bad.
Yeah.
But now, in the way that IPAs are shaped with this fruit forward, hop burst kind of thing, where like the 90% of the IBUs are in the last 10 minutes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think that's where black IPA always deserved to be, and I think you should reconsider, because the style has evolved into something that's better.
Well, I do like this, and I don't know if you gentlemen have had a sip.
Yeah,
This feels like it leans pretty malty, though. Do you think?
But malty, but not bitter.
Yeah.
It's
so
not. No, it's not. The
it
business
doesn't-
is quite low.
It doesn't have like a stringent husk bitterness to me at all,
Yeah.
which I think is an error that some people will do.
It's definitely got that
We-
lingering roastiness that I like, though. That's
But
good.
it's like I think the difference is in terms of like production. It's like now you want to focus on zero husk roast malt. So you want like no roast barley, roast wheat, carafa, those kinds of things, because that lack of husk doesn't give that malt bitterness. The bitterness is all from the hops, and you keep that low. Keep it like kind of 50 or so, and then the darkness doesn't overwhelm it. It's just a good double IPA or an IPA with a little bit of chocolate coffee in there.
Yeah.
I actually really
as
like
assistance.
I thought you would.
Yeah.
That's really balanced too. That's 7.6% ABV.
Yeah.
Citra, Denali, Motueka. Citra.
Denali. I mean, we still
Figures.
call it Denali, even though
sorry, Sultana.
Yeah,
Fucking
no,
horrible.
I'm not
horrible
calling
name
it
for
fucking Sultana.
horrible fucking name for a hop.
Is that what they changed it to?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. That's rank.
But they got sued by the car manufacturer.
Yeah, right.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Jeez. Insecure vehicle manufacturer. Hey.
I think
Oh, jeez, you're stealing our market share.
I think speaking of interesting that you said Coinda, because I think Coinda Black IPA, old money will remember that very fondly, and all the stories of Coinda brewing from their backyard and the heat exchanger going through the pool. Like that's just OG wankfest. Like we love that shit.
But that was the only roasty one that worked.
Yeah, it
And
was.
I think
roasty.
that spawned off a whole lot of ones that didn't work.
Yeah. Well, look, I will admit that this is quite delicious, and I am happily drinking it. The triple vinyl is still my favourite, and now that you've said that
Look at that. He just poured himself the dregs of a black IPA. Please, someone clip that. That's, got to keep that.
Yeah, no doubt Ryan from The Great Beyond will make that into a GIF. But now that you've said that you blended a Rizzy boy in that triple vinyl. Something's making more sense because I do like a cronk.
Sorry, just to expand on that, we didn't blend a Rhys. We were doing that after Steppies. We tend to like
right.
at work. We tend to mix beers together just for shits and giggles, you know.
We call it,
Why not?
we call it a cronk.
Yeah.
A cronk.
Okay.
Apparently, it's after someone on a beer group whose last name is Cronk who mixes beers together, and we've just called it a cronk.
Sounds
ever
like
since.
a bloody good bloke.
I'm down with it.
I'm down with it too. I
yeah.
like the layering. I like that you spoon layer them. That's good. I'm down with
Spoon
that.
layering is just a fun pastime.
Agreed. Got to do it for your short, long macchiatos from time to time. Hot tip for everyone.
Oh, jeez.
While we're talking about hot tips,
Yep.
let's talk through the setup at Otherside. So we do have a lot of brewers. Ali, I think one episode you tried to introduce the show as the podcast that brewers listen to, and you very much
Wow, that was the most fumbly intro of a show.
you
we've
very
ever
much
Step
stumbled.
Brewers podcast, the podcast Brewers love.
Wow, you did a good job this time, but
Have you
last
been
time
practicing that in the mirror?
Just in the car for 3 hours.
Okay.
last time you did not. So Rhys, tell us brew system, size, what are you working with? Let's start there.
Right, so we got a 20 hec 4-vessel Tiantai. We got
Big boy.
Yeah.
Relatively speaking.
Yeah. I mean, it's Tiantai fully manual kit, so we don't have any, we don't have any screens or anything like that. It's all manual valves. We don't have any, actuated kind of valves or anything like that.
Yeah.
We got a triple size HLT and a double size COT. We've got 6 triples, so 6 60 fermenters. We've got 4 40s. We've got 2 singles. One of them which we've repurposed and pulled away from all the pipe work, and we just use that explicitly for kettle souring. So we actually we can completely. So back in the old days when you used to have to kettle sour without all these fancy little bugs they give you. We used to have to,
Shout out to Philly Sour.
yeah, fucking fantastic. Like great product, but in order to do that right without butyric back in the old days, you have to purge with CO2 and all that kind of stuff. So we repurposed the thing pretty early on to just do that. We also.
What are you doing, Wade?
It sounds like you're pissing in the corner.
Jesus. Wade. I'm a professional here.
I'm trying. Look, okay, I'm going to explain. So I was just tipping out the little bit that was left in the rest of the black IPA because I'm being very mindful that I have to drive home tonight. So I'm being responsible, and I want to drink as much as possible of that sugar maple Rhys because I'm anticipating that it's going to fucking bang. So
maybe it goes into the graveyard.
Back to the story.
Sorry, Rhys.
That's fine.
When you say disconnected from all the plumbing and stuff, your Fermies and Brights hard plumbed, is that what you're saying? Or you just have it on a very separate setup?
Oh no, like just in the way that all fermenters are plumbed into the glycol.
Yeah, oh, sure.
So this is just a standalone unit that doesn't have any telemetry or glycol plumbing into it. It's just literally standing in the middle of the space behind our brewery.
Yeah, fun.
So it's not connected to anything, and we have hoses that are dedicated to that. So basically, I'm just paranoid, and this goes back to the thing I was saying about Catrose. It's like, a lot of people will make their. I'm sorry, I just burped to the mic.
Oh, look, we do that every episode. It's a beer podcast.
But a lot of people will kettle sour in an actual kettle, and then they'll just boil it. Like, I'm just a little bit paranoid, so I want to keep it one step back from that. Like kettle sour it in the thing, transfer it into the kettle, and then boil it from there, just so it's an extra step away from the heat exchange.
I don't
Look
mind
at that QC. It's
I
beautiful.
don't mind that, yeah. I do not mind that at all.
Well, so our QC is really it was really low tech. Like we never got anything to do we didn't get any kind of lab until earlier this year. And we'd been running for a couple of years, but we are just all about the low tech QC while we can get it. And then once the money gets there and we can get like an alkalizer and all that kind of stuff, we'll do that after. So now we're starting to get QC. It's very good, but in the early days, there's a lot of stuff that you can do just to make good beer without the tech. You know, like you go to Gumtree and you get a little urn and you get some shot bottles and you can do your VDK checks and stuff like that. It's like there's a lot of stuff you don't need a lot of technology to do, and it really will help the quality of your beer.
Yeah, shout out to I've been meaning to say this since Gabs actually. Shout out to Hendo, who does a lot of videos for brewers and shows people how to do VDK tests in in a Coke bottle.
Yep.
Did talk to him at Gabs. Does want to come on the show. Bit of Rockstar Brewer promo. Always looking to help brewers, level up the game without putting the money in for the lab stuff. So it's exciting to hear, especially someone who's been at Gage Roads where you would have had all the toys, hearing that you're on that fully manual 4-vessel, 20-hect town tire. Sometimes you feel like some of the brewers that come from big beer are just shit on anything that's manual because they haven't had to do it, and they want to take out that process. But no, that's really exciting. One thing I will say is, though, based on the size of those triple fermenters and the number of them, we should be getting more Otherside in Tasmania / the East Coast. So when you said the locals like your beer, they fucking clearly do, because those are not small tanks.
Doesn't make it far.
Not small tanks in the scheme of things. Maybe in a Gage Road sense, but not on a small indie craft brewer sense. So yeah, that's awesome. Those smaller single turns, and was there a half turn? Did you say there?
Half turn?
Oh, sorry.
You mean like
half batch, or because it was a full?
Nah, we don't really do half batches. We don't really do single batches, to be honest. It's only if we're doing a collaboration with someone or something like that. But we usually do 40s and 60s.
Yeah.
Even our experimental stuff like this, so the Russian Brewer stouts, what we usually do is we do 3 mashes to kind of 12 to 1400 liters.
Yeah.
And then we'll just do that 3 times in a double tank kind of thing. So that we're getting, obviously you get lower utilization, all that kind of stuff, but you get more, the higher gravity stuff with more volume without having to resort to kind of too much in the way of adjuncts and things like that.
Yeah, definitely. You're running off.
But we are looking. We're in the process. We're in negotiations at the moment. We're looking at having people to do South Australia, Victoria, New South Wales, and Queensland at the moment. Territory in Tasmania to come.
Look,
however,
it's a lot of travel.
Yeah. But we also can ship anything direct to customer. You know what? I'll try and sort out a free postage thing by the time you guys are going to post this. So see if I can do a promotion
for a bit of Tassie love.
Well, a bit of Tassie, bit of everyone love the whole East Coast.
That's nice.
I reckon I can do a free postage thing. Let me sort it out.
Oh, we will follow that up with you. That is
This man is large and in charge.
This is I don't mind that at all, actually.
Couple more black IPAs coming to
anything special that the nerds would want to know about your brew system? Anything you've custom set up? Any cheeky things particularly that you wanted to have, or pretty standard 4-vessel?
Well, I think we've got the kind of the secret 5th vessel, which is not that secret, but that we utilize that to do more kettle souring. But that's kind of old tech now, because now what's that new thing they got where you can kind of kettle sour and ferment at the same time. Yeah.
Philly.
I haven't used that yet.
It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
I've heard.
Brewing one tomorrow morning, very very fucking early.
No one cares, mate.
Yeah. No one cares.
Ah, dear. What did we say about contract brewers?
Gypsies.
No, the sales rep's a good friend of mine, and the sales rep WA is a good friend of mine. He's always pushing on me. I'm like, yeah, but for us, sours don't sell nearly as well as hoppy and dark stuff does.
Yep.
So we haven't had an excuse to use it yet.
Yeah.
But I think, I guess in our kit, it's because it's a very manual kind of basic kit. I think the one thing that I like about our kit that I intentionally got done is about halfway up our whirlpool. So we've got a 4-vessel kit, so mash tun, lauter tun, kettle, whirlpool. And about halfway up our whirlpool, we have an outfeed. So what that means is that we can kind of get the whirlpool hops in early and then start pulling out quite early. So that first half of the batch of beer has had far less actual contact time with heat.
Oh, interesting.
And so, so by just having that standpipe there, so we've got a standpipe that goes over about halfway up the whirlpool, we can actually start pulling it out 5 or 10 minutes earlier than we would otherwise, because it's already all the stuff's already cleared by that. And so we're getting some like really fresh kind of hop flavors and aromas out of it, and I think it's what makes a difference with a lot of our beers. You know, like I think just being able to really load up that whirlpool, and you're right. don't bother about writing down. I'll see some photos. But yeah, it's just a real like simple concept, right? Like, because in the whirlpool stand, all of that shrub and hop material will collapse out. So it's like, let's put a standpipe up here, and we can start pulling out early, and all that stuff from the top half is clear. Let's start pulling that out, you know.
I guess you're getting less contact time at those higher temps too, like almost effectively doing the drop temp whirlpool.
Exactly. So you know, when it comes down to, you know, IBU, I'm just guessing. You know, the IBU on the thing, we're not testing that. You know, we're low tech. But I'm guessing that based on other beers that I've tasted and how we have experience with that, and you know, we'll see what happens.
Very cool.
That's good. That is very, very interesting.
Can we open the Rhys?
Yeah, well, I was just about to say we're at Rhys. We're at Rhys time.
Which one you got?
We've got the sugar maple Rhys.
Uh-huh.
So what I'm about to say is just like, we're always a big fan of all the stouts that we have received from you guys in the past. So I presume that this is going to be equally as good. But tell us a little bit your stout process and why you guys brew such amazing stouts.
With different wood too.
Yeah, with different woods. There's always something different going on. I mean, the can vent beer as well. Amberana. That was unexpected. Yeah, it seems to be a little bit of fun at the brewery, and wow, that looks the colour of the head on that looks absolutely
horrible,
sinister.
Yeah, just a little bit. But tell us about the sugar maple Rhys and your stouts, just in general, and why you boys. The approach about them.
Well, I mean, stouts probably one of my favourite styles. Like, I just love really big, chewy stouts, but I think it's really important to not have too much alcohol burn on them, and to kind of have a stout that kind of is ready to drink right now. You know, like I don't think if you have to keep a stout for 6 months, it's necessarily better. I think proper fermentation management and just treating the yeast well and being very generous with the yeast, you can get a really nice kind of flavour after 3 weeks. Like I think you can actually really, like, I mean, you know, it'll definitely get better over, you know, 6 to 12, but I think I really want to make stouts that are ready to drink kind of, you know, straight up. Extra fermenting, so it's good, but you know, so I kind of focus on that and kind of on sessionability of stouts. Like, I think anything you should always try as a brewer and try and make it taste like 6%. Like if it's a 3.5% beer, try and make it taste like 6% beer. If it's 12% beer, try and make it taste like 6% beer. 6% beer. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
That's 10.5.
Yeah, it seems to be the magical numbers. Like I have always appreciated like a bigger beer tasting a lot like a smaller beer, and
I agree.
Not that I want it to be smashable and I want to down heaps more of them, but it's just like it's not an effort to actually, you know, finish the drink. So and we're just going, oh shit, this is 10.5%. Like this is
I mean, there's definitely heat to it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like,
No, but-
I didn't succeed in making it taste like a 6% beer, but you aim to that and see where you land. You know.
Yep.
But in terms of this beer, so like Amberana is, I don't know that this is true, but I think I might be the first person in Australia to use it in a beer.
It was
my
very cool.
I
that
think
it was in Canberra.
was that I don't know if we ever ranked them, but it was definitely easily my top 1 or 2
It was your
beers.
top.
I think it was my top 1 in the can vent.
Well, because you said that, I saved this one because I
Yeah.
thought that's something special. We can share it sometime, and then
It's
I offered
horny.
it to you on one episode,
And then
now
it
it's
got
yours.
taken back.
But I was just super intrigued because I remember we had this on Sip Skip Cellar a few weeks ago. We had all Otherside beers, maybe a month or two ago. And when I heard sugar maple, I was just like, "Oh, cool, another sweet Rhys."
It's not.
And then you
It's quite
explained to
bitter.
me, Ali, it was sugar maple staves. So, I mean, what made you pick sugar maple staves? Because I've never fucking heard of them, to be honest.
I'm not gonna lie to you. It was available in the order when I was getting the fucking Amberana. So so Amberana was such a fucking ball ache to get into Australia. So I started that maybe 6 months before I got it in. I had to get that in from Bolivia, the Bolivian Amazon. Wow. So
That is fucking epic.
so it's a Bolivian Amazon. Well, it's an Amazonian wood. They're grown in Bolivia and a few other the Amazonian countries, and I just couldn't get access to it, right? Because COVID, because Australian quarantine. West Australian quarantine is more strict than most other states with quarantine, I think, as well.
Yeah, right.
And because West Australia is just kind of this isolated little kind of weird place where there's just a lot of biomes that don't exist everywhere else, so they need to be really protective over it, which I understand. I totally get it.
Yeah,
but,
like people who like Daniel loves beer, like you got to protect those little areas.
that's a microbiome. Yeah.
Shout out to him.
But so the issue is that in order to get it to Australia, they really just want to blast it with chemicals. And I was like, no, you can't do that.
No.
This is a food product. You can't put chemicals into it. And so, it took a really long time to negotiate that. And I was dealing with this company, and they were like, it's going to cost you X $1,000 to just bring this much over here, but it'll cost you X $1,000 plus a couple $100 to bring these other ones over here. So
That's so fucking good.
I was like, fuck yeah, bring over some sugar maple and some Spanish cedar. So Spanish cedar is a really interesting one that you may not have got yet. We've got a beer coming out with that soon, and that is like Spanish cedar is neither Spanish nor cedar. It's a type of mahogany.
Oh, right.
And
Rich
so it smells.
You love
It
mahogany.
smells like It smells and tastes like mahogany. It's got this beautiful kind of rich character to it.
Smells like Anchorman.
Yeah,
Ron Burgundy.
We've used it in this barley wine that's coming up soon, and it's like got this beautiful like the beer itself has this beautiful kind of estery character, and it just plays really well with it. So it's like a little bit banana, a little bit mahogany. It kind of smells a lot like sandalwood, which I'm really a big fan of.
It's like a man beer.
I just
isn't
want
it?
to put
It's
that
for
on my
men.
face.
Yeah,
So you can rub that in your beard.
Aftershave.
I can't say what it is, but there's a big one coming out.
It's a
that's
massive
gonna-
collab with Lush body products, and it's
You put the beer in the bath and it turns into a bubble bath.
I get why his hair looks so good now.
Yeah.
It's just like barley wine in the morning. I love that.
oh, that's that.
But yeah, no. But so the reason why we're playing with all these woods is because I spent all this effort to get this one piece of wood out of the country, out of Bolivia, and I was like, fuck it, I can get these other ones. So that's why we're playing around with all these woods, because like fuck it, may as well, right?
That's so good. That as a Carwin beer is big genitalia energy.
But what do you taste?
Oh, sorry. In the sugar maple, I was just holding up the.
No. In the
Amberana.
Amberana, what do you taste in the Amberana? Oh no, sorry.
Well, we're having the
What do you
sugar
taste in
maple.
Sugar maple.
Yes. It's not sweet.
It's
It's
not.
not sweet.
No.
I thought it was going to be sweet. It's
Because
actually,
as soon as
Definitely,
people see-
definitely solid bitterness, isn't it?
I get that. You do get the maple, and it's kind of like in a good way when people fake the maple with, is it fenugreek that they use to fake the maple? It's
Right.
It's kind
I didn't
of
know that.
Yeah, it's a little trick.
Okay. Okay.
It's got a little bit of that, but it's weird because you expect the sweetness.
Yeah. A lot of
it's
people
not
would
there.
probably
That
be
was what I was expecting, to be honest.
disappointed because it says sugar maple on it, and they'll be like,
That-
"Hang on,
I've
it's not sweet."
definitely had a lot of people disappointed in this beer.
Oh,
Because
really?
of that.
I fucking love
I mean,
it.
Yeah.
it's not what I expected, but that doesn't mean I'm disappointed. I still think it's a very,
quite-
very well balanced beer for what it is.
The wood is really dried it quite a lot, but it's
Yeah.
not thin. I get like a dry back tones. but
It's
I
nimble.
Don't, yeah. I don't get it thin. And it's silly, the ABV that it is and how drinkable it is. But we kind of expect
I
all your
think-
beers to be balanced. I don't know.
I think a lot of the problem that I have is like I am maybe more sensitive to wood than other people, and so like if I'm putting wood in a beer, I'm like, all right, cool, filter it, ready, done, get it out of there. And a lot of people will be like, where's the wood? You know, so I think maybe I need to kind of let the wood develop a little bit more because obviously, like, it's a communal conversation. You know, like it goes back and forth. If other people aren't getting enough wood out of a thing, then I need to respond and let the wood stay a little bit more. But one thing I definitely get as a consistent complaint is not enough wood character. But I'm like, what are you talking about? It's right there. It's all there. You know.
Yeah, I get that dryness of drinking Rhys from a barrel. Like I definitely get that.
The tannic quality, but,
Yeah,
but
tannic
not
quality.
enough of the other characteristics.
Yeah, I really like it. So it's stave. So I was about to say it's a single barrel, but no, it's stave. So it's just
Yeah, so with this one, it's actually spirals.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one's spirals, but I would probably like if I was going to do it again, I'd probably go more heavy on the wood, just like let it sit a little bit longer. Only because other people have said they don't really experience the wood quality that I experienced from it.
Who are you bouncing? You got a team, obviously. Are you bouncing bouncing pallets around? Like, do you have? We've talked about it on the show before, where we heard a comment from a brewer saying that in the States where he lets his brewers have a beer budget, but doesn't give them beer from their brewery. They're allowed to spend it elsewhere because he said he doesn't like brewers who get their own palate tuned into their own brewery. He said it's not productive.
That's a big one.
And it was like
cellar palate.
blowing out for us.
Yep.
Do you have good pallets around you in the brew house that you bounce off on this stuff?
Definitely. I think my number one guy who I go to for getting shit done probably drinks more Otherside brewing than anyone else in the history of the world. So I tend to not rely on him for things because he's definitely got that cellar palate. When I've had issues before, I've got like because I've got a lot of friends in the industry and so like if I have an issue where I'm like I'm not really sure about this, I'll definitely take it outside the company and go to another head brewer or something like that because because they're
I think
mostly
that's
the
good
only
to
people-
do. Yeah.
They're mostly the only ones in my phone book as well, just friends of mine that have worked in breweries before. Like the other day I went to Jackson Purser, who's the guy who's heading up the new Pirate Life thing that's going to be
in the
Perth.
casino or something?
Yeah. And he's a sensational brewer. Like I cannot rate him highly enough. He's been a brewer since he's 18 years old. He's made some of my favorite beers. He's made Oak Law. He has made one of the earliest and best hazies in WA, and just a fantastic brewer.
Yep.
But yeah, so like I had a thing. I was like, I don't know about this. What do you think about it? I brought it to him, and like that was great. And like sales reps are great because sales reps, their job is to drink other people's beers. You know, like they go out there and they do that.
It's all they fucking do, to be honest.
Yeah. I charge my fucking credit card. Yeah, all that.
Yeah, and like, how many kegs can you get me this week? It's like, there's no beer. Is there beer the next week? There's no beer.
They're ruthless. They're bloody ruthless.
But I think the point that you're making is actually really important. It's like cellar palate is deleterious to a brewer. Like you need to be drinking other people's beers.
Yeah.
And because like a classic example is like I know a guy that had his filter fail on his brewery, and so it was letting chlorine through, and it was slowly building up, and they had these horrible like band-aid flavors
messes,
coming through. But everyone slowly acclimatized as the filter got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
That's a
and
fucking
no one
horror
knew about
story.
it.
That's a horror story. Oh.
And that could ruin an entire company.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
100%.
could. It could.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway, sorry.
that's
No,
okay.
We're having a great time.
We are.
This is a great time.
We're drinking sugar maple Rhys. No, I really like the beer. I think it's really good. You know.
Yeah, if I could do it again, I'd leave the wood on a little bit longer.
You're just gonna have to do another massive
should do it
order
again.
from the Amazon and get some more.
Yeah, fucking cut that whole thing down, for fuck's sake. I want more of this beer.
That's a bit wrong. Man. Come on. Now, Rhys, I have no idea what these three words mean, but I'm sure
I apologise, Ali.
I'm sure I'm about to find out. Evil Mega Corporation. I don't know what this means. It sounds real horny and real exciting.
I haven't briefed you at all.
But I see it on the run sheet. It sounds exciting. I want to know more about it. Can you please elaborate on this new whatever it is? Because it sounds real good.
Okay, yeah. So, Evil Man Corporation was a joke that I had a little while ago. Maybe it started about 10 years ago. I was working in the craft beer industry and whatnot, and we were joking about how all these corporate breweries would craft wash their brands, and I was like, oh, it'd be funny if someone did the opposite and made a craft beer brand called Evil Mega Corporation. And then I forgot what a joke was, and
Pushed on.
so I did it anyway. But yeah, so basically, Evil Mega Corporation is my side project that I'm doing. So I'm not leaving Otherside at all. I've essentially made a thing that's never going to make any money. I've created this tiny little brewery. I put all my life savings into it. I'm going to do subscription only.
Yes.
It's
funny, isn't it?
Where can I subscribe?
Yeah, look it up.
well, at the moment you can't because PayPal has cut me off. So
This is exclusive.
Yeah. So in a bit. So basically, I spent all this money building up this thing, and then God, are you sure you want me to tell this story?
Yes.
Yes, it sounds great.
Yes.
I'm really enjoying this.
Look,
Is this
we've
available anywhere on Google? I'm trying to
we've,
search it.
No, you can't. You can't.
I'll send you the link.
So I've got a website, evilmegacorp.com.au. So I'm a pretty kind of out there guy. But so basically what happened is I started this thing. I've been building this brand, all that kind of stuff. Like not a brand, but I've been building this this kind of company just to do.
Cult.
Nah, but it's not because like I'm still like I still work a job. Like I still do all the normal stuff.
Passion project is what you're trying to say. Passion project.
Vanity project is probably more accurate. I'm just doing it for fun, And it got to the point where I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to do it. I need to start talking to a lawyer. And I talked to a lawyer. And he's like, hey, look, you spent $90,000 on it this year. There's a lot of stuff that you can do. You can get instant asset write-off, and you can
Oh, yeah, good
claim
time.
this against your tax. And all
Good
this
time to
kind
be
of
doing
stuff.
tax shit.
Yeah, it's like you can do all this stuff, and I'm like, how do I do that stuff? It's like, well, you got to be a legitimate business. You got to earn $20,000 in the last financial year, and I'm like, well, I haven't done that. And it's like, yeah, cool. So anyway, and then I'm like, wait a minute, financial year's not over. I got 28 days.
Oh,
And he says, yeah, but you're not going to earn $20,000 the next 28 days. So I'm like,
aren't I?
hold on. and so to me, it felt like, okay, you know, there's like made for TV movies where like a plucky group of kids has 24 hours to save the rec center.
Basically, WEG, yeah.
That was, yeah. So that was me. I was like, I can do this. So I spent like 96 hours making a website. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to pre-sell subscriptions. It's going to be great. And so I saw these subscriptions, like all the people on Perth Beer Snub. So I was like, guys, look, you know who I am.
I saw that.
Yeah. It's like, you know who I am. Here's what I'm going to do. I want to sell you guys a year's worth of subscriptions. It's going to start when I actually get this off the ground. Like, it's not going to start until then. You can prepay now, and I'll give you a massive discount. And then if you want to do it, like, if they don't want to do it later, I'll fucking give them a refund, whatever. But, like, give me some money now, and I'll fucking get it done. And I raised $20,000 in the first 3 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
Don't
What
you
is with all this fucking
forget
capital raising
about
in
me.
beer lately?
But then here's the other part. Apparently, I violated the terms of service because you can't pre-sell anything on PayPal.
Oh, shit.
So PayPal.
Fuck you,
messaged me and they're
PayPal.
like, yeah,
No,
well,
it's
whatever.
not. It's not pre-sale. It's a subscription service.
Right, it's a
Yeah, here
subscription
he
service.
is. Here he
But
is.
they didn't see it that way. So they said,
Oh, no, you're in the clear.
am I okay?
Yeah, no, just call your
No.
lawyer. You're in the clear.
That's a financial advice from
No, I'm not licensed.
Just ship everyone a empty
What,
4-pack.
what do I do?
Now,
You push on, and it's beautiful.
Just send everyone a T-shirt as soon as possible.
The funny thing about Evil Mega Corporation is we had...
T-shirt, that's what I'm doing.
I like the T-shirt. We had people from our Patreon message us and be like, have you heard about Evil Mega Corporation? I'm like, why is everyone telling me about Evil Mega Corporation? So I started like, looking for it.
Sounds like an
it
exclusive
sounds,
black IPA
it sounds
brewery,
fucking
to be honest.
great.
What are the beers going to
Okay.
be, Rhys? Come on,
Give us
sell
the
it.
lowdown.
Yes.
Oh,
He's coming back.
hey, he's back. Well, he's not, but his couch is.
He's back.
We're
Gee,
back.
PayPal tried to get a hold of you there.
PayPal
and,
fucked you
tried-
up.
I was wondering.
PayPal fucked you up just then.
Yeah, they just didn't want to
Yeah.
continue on.
No, you. What
So
were you
basically,
saying?
Oh, sorry.
What
Yes,
are
I
the
want.
beers?
I wanted to know what the beers were. I want to know what the beers are. I want to know. I want to be part of this corporate mega, whatever the fuck it is, corporation, evil mega corporation.
okay, so Evil Mega Corporation was a joke because it started as an idea that obviously these corporate breweries are pretending to be little craft things. I was like, what if we take our own back? And basically it's just this tiny little brewery. It's literally a 200-litre brew kit. It has a tiny little one-man canning line. It's just designed to make single one-off beers, and that's it. It's only going to be subscription. There may be a few bars and bottle shops around town in Freo
Yep.
to get some, but otherwise it's all going to be all subscription based. So basically, it's for people that really just want to get like unique, novel beers that are kind of out there and all that kind of stuff, but they can get it at what is essentially a discount because there's no wastage, there's no like all that kind of stuff. Like everything about these beers is going to go directly to them.
Yep.
And I'm not going to make any money off it because I have a job. You know, like I'm just doing this for shits and giggles.
Yeah, and you're getting some fun, silly beers while you're at it.
Yeah, and I get to be a dickhead about it. You know, like you can clearly tell I'm a bit of a dickhead, and I just want to kind of make some jokes and make some beers and whatever. Like, so if I can break even in my first years, I'll be stoked.
Can you send us a message on the Instagram or Facebook page when subscriptions are available again?
100%.
Thank you.
And so at the moment I've had to suspend subscriptions because I've had a fight with PayPal because they think I'm a scam artist.
Well, you look like a pretty suspect bloke.
I do, yeah. And also I raised $24,000 in like 4 days. So they're like, what's going on?
You don't know
here?
the power of craft beer people, do you?
Yeah, fuck you, PayPal.
Fuck it out.
Got a bunch of neckbeard nerds over here.
So I'll sort it out and I'll do it better. But yeah, that's the whole point. But yeah, look, I'm not leaving Otherside. Like I've got a great job and I've got great people that I work with and all that kind of stuff.
And know everyone, they're not all going to be triple IPA hazy chonk donkey beers.
Well, I know. Okay, so on that, like I'm looking at definitely the first year of subscription is going to be like really dumb IPAs, really dumb imperial stouts, really dumb fruity sours, all that kind of stuff. But because it's just like me and I don't have to care about making money, I might just cancel after the first year of subscription or might after the second year of subscription. What I'm actually trying to do is make like a mixed fermentation program, and it's going to take a couple of years to get up and running.
Yeah.
So I don't know if like I might do it for a year, I might do it for 2 years, I might do it for 3 years, I don't know. But I'm only going to do this subscription service for a short amount of time. It's not forever. It's not a business model.
So get on it while it lasts.
Get on it while, oh yeah, sure, or
Get
the
it
opposite. Where
and
it's
put it in your linen closet.
Don't put it in.
Can you put it in bottles?
Now.
Can you put it in bottles?
No.
Cans.
Mate, who are you?
I'm just a collector. I just want to put it in the cupboard.
I bought a canning line for this purpose, and I'm going to use this canning line for a couple of years. Then I'm going to flog off the canning line to some other guy because I reckon, like, if I can prove this works, then other people are going to want to do it too. Like a tiny little nano brewery.
Well, you can just put your signature on it, and then people will buy it.
Okay,
It's fucking wicked. It's fucking wicked.
The way I think about it is like there's a lot of brewers that live in places like Sydney and Melbourne, and it's just going to cost them $200,000 to start to buy a house. Why don't they spend $200,000 and start a business, and they can buy a cheap
And then they can buy 7
secondhand
houses.
thing from me. And I'll tell them how to do it. I'll tell them how to do it. You know, like I'll tell them how to start a small brewery. They go do that thing. I can fucking help them out.
Fucking great.
I can see it now. Evil Megacorp turning into this business.
Evil Megacorp.
Could you imagine the irony?
Tutoring the up and coming dickheads who think they're going to make beer.
For free. Like it won't be for money.
Oh, damn
like
it.
it would just.
I was really hoping we could get you on the green screen and be like, come to my seminar.
Use the discount code STEPBREWER30 for a 30%.
Well, the name is very, very horny. I think it's
good
really
energy.
good. I think,
It is.
the people who've got behind it already is super exciting. So
Yeah, good on you, whoever got behind that in WA. I looked at it and was very tempted. We had a little Brewers chat going down here in Tassie, and everyone's like, check out this fucking legend.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's Rhys from Otherside.
No, it wasn't legend, was it? You can tell me.
No, it was legend. Like, everyone was just like, he's going to get to brew whatever the fuck he wants and put it on subscription.
Woohoo!
Like,
4 packs of barley wine coming right up.
oh, that sounds delightful.
Yeah. That's pretty much only barley ones.
Do you know what else is delightful, Ali?
opening barley wine.
No, I wasn't going to say that.
Drinking barley wine?
There's too many people driving in this room to do that.
That's true.
But what else is... We are saving this barley wine for the barley wine episode.
Clint just likes to get beers out
Jeez,
from
I'm going to get drunk that night.
the fridge
It's going to be a
graveyard.
lot of bleeps in that
The
episode.
fridge graveyard.
Show around.
No, you know what else is delightful? The jingle for Give Us Your Gabs Pitch.
Hit it. Give us your Gabs pitch. I want it now. I want it good. Give us your Gabs pitch. Please and thank you. I could really tell you you were enjoying that race. I really got the, you were just.
That sounds like your genre.
I was thinking really hard.
You're trying to concentrate.
You were just like, I wonder what the music video for that sound looks like.
Just think Nickelback and not much clothing.
Still got to film that music video. Anyway,
We do need to film
I'm not
that
going to say it's in the
video
works, but
it could be one day.
one day.
when we have time. Give us your Gabs pitch.
We haven't done it in a while.
We haven't done it in a while.
Feels a bit raw. Feels a
We
bit
have
naughty.
not done it in a while.
We've just been to Gabs, so it feels weird that we're talking about Gabs again. But
And that
Oh,
Rhys
well,
is-
you got to start them early.
And
do.
Rhys has actually done it at Gabs.
and he
recently.
did do a what was it, Rhys? It was a sour. It was with Red Bull, wasn't it?
Oh wait. So do I have to tell you my recent Gabs pitch?
Yeah.
Or
I'm
do
well.
you Gabs
Well,
pitch?
just
No, we're doing a new one. We're doing a new one.
You've
but
got to pitch us a new beer after this.
But
I
we're
was
just
like,
talking about your one from Gabs just gone.
What was the Gabs beer this year?
Oh, my Gabs beer last time was dumb as fuck.
That's what we love. That's the good energy.
Love that energy. Good
So-
beer week
so
breakfast or something. Good.
Okay, so there's a story in that. And it comes down to me fighting corporation again.
What a
Yes.
surprise!
Good.
So basically what happened is about 2 years ago we had an idea to do a beer that tastes like Red Bull, and we forgot what a joke was, and
Seems to be a lot of that.
This is repeating.
I love this.
yeah. So what happened is we had a sales rep from Red Bull that came to Frio Social, which is our venue that does live music and stuff, and they were really keen to get in. And so we had someone who was venue manager at the time, and he was really keen on getting them in. And he's like, "Hey, look, how about we do a Gabs beer that's a Red Bull flavored Gabs beer, and like we just won't call it a Red Bull beer." He's like, "Yeah, cool. As long as you can call it a Red Bull beer as long as you don't package it." But the sales rep from Red Bull kind of looked like the ultimate stereotype of like a guy from a Nazi movie. So he was like,
Like Christopher Waltz in Inglourious Bastards.
no, more so like very very kind of like clean cut, tiny little round glasses, like bit the most like a kind of Northern European dude you ever seen.
Love it.
And he was
Love
like,
it.
yeah, and he was like, yeah, cool, absolutely. But you can't package it. And I was like, yep, cool, won't package it. He left. The guy who negotiated with him also left. So then I was left with this idea. I was like, well, I don't have any agreement that we can do this, but I'm going to kind of do it anyway. So
Fucking PayPal principle. I love that.
So what we did was we found another way of getting that flavor into a beer without using those guys,
Yeah, right.
and we didn't call it that, and we didn't have anything to do with that, and we still got a cease and desist. So
Oh, we put that on the wall though. That's nice.
Frame that.
Right. All right. We want a fresh Gabs pitch though.
So maybe not that again.
Definitely don't get a
Right,
cease and desist.
Some-
So-
Well, there's a
So
few
that-
other energy drinks you could.
No.
I'm kidding.
yeah, but no, but a fresh Gabs.
Yeah, so it does. You don't actually have to brew this beer. It can be as silly as you like it to be. you're just trying to actually win best beer at Gabs.
What's going to get the chonk donkeys up and about?
What kind of beer is going to get the vote?
Larry, apparently.
So is the question, what do I think we'll do well?
No. What are you
going to do? How are you going to win?
How are you going to win Gabs?
We want you to spitball something really dumb.
Well, okay. So as a West Australian, I'm never going to win Gabs.
Raw. Okay, that's good.
But accurate. Like Gabs isn't something for us to win. Gabs is something for us to just throw shit at the wall at. Like for West Australians, because there's not the population of West Australia for people to support us. So no one is going to go up there and say like, Others something crazy. I'm going to try it. You know, no one's going to do that. Like that's not the way.
Which sucks, but okay.
Yeah, well, sure it does, but whatever, it doesn't matter. So like, what there's two questions: what's going to win, or what do I want to do?
What do you want to do?
To win.
I'd really like to do a sweet pandan.
Okay. Unpackage that, because I'm like, all right, I'm so white and uncultured.
Well,
so pandan is a Malaysian leaf. It's used in a lot of like Southeast Asian sweets.
That was what I was going to guess. So
yeah,
definitely.
I think that would be a really interesting thing, like a pandan coconut kettle sour, but like a little bit on the sweeter side. I think that'd be a really interesting thing. Maybe some lotus hop or and maybe some sabro hop. I think that'd be a really interesting style to be able to do.
I like the panda.
But I think because like my dad's Malaysian, like I think that'd be a cool thing. Like that'd be interesting. Wouldn't win
because you're from WA.
No, but I think no one from WA has ever got up there. You know, like it's never happened.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that before.
It's not ever going to happen. Like it's always an up and coming East Coast brewery, and that's cool. Like it's not about winning; it's about doing something fucked up.
And
that is a good spin,
ladies and gentlemen. That is why we go to Gabs.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, actually, we just go to harass brewers.
Yeah, I was going to say,
which we're quite good at now.
Yeah.
Let's not go to the Melbourne one next year, just to spice things up. Let's just go somewhere else. Why not?
How would I go to Carwin then?
Oh, true. Okay, let's go to Melbourne.
Fly back in on the way back down.
How would we shut down an entire state and give them a lockdown?
Well, got to do what you got to do, I suppose. I guess we're going back to Melbourne. No, we'll just do two.
Well...
Rightio. So you've given us the Gabs pitch, Rhys. It was I liked it. Apart from the Sabro, that's okay. We can fix that at some point. I'm sure we could substitute. Maybe put Talus in there instead. A little bit less
coconut haters gonna hate.
Welcome to the Step Brewers podcast, sponsored by Banana Boat.
Oh, jeez, that's not very nice. So to close out the show, Rhys, got to ask, what is next for Otherside? What's the plans leading into 2022?
So the next plans for Otherside is we're actually looking to move further into New South Wales, Victoria, South Australia.
Fuck yeah.
Maybe Queensland. We'll see what happens. That's the next kind of 12 months. Beyond that, potentially Northern Territory and had Tasmania, and ACT, but for those people at the moment, they're always welcome to buy off our online store. But really looking to kind of just expand into the rest of Australia because they've been pretty well received in WA and see how it goes.
Definitely.
I couldn't agree more, because that's the beers that we've received from from you and from Rob and over the have always been really something that we look forward to.
Bloody lovely.
Outstanding.
And it's
Bloody
been
lovely grog.
another very good lineup tonight, and there was even some that we didn't even get into, like Super Sabbath and Barley
That's
Wine.
actually my
And,
favourite one at the moment.
yeah, right, okay. And then we still haven't opened it, Lockie, the Amarana.
We will.
We will.
It belongs to you,
We're
Lockie.
just going to keep teasing you with that for a few more episodes.
You're going to go to get it out of the fridge next time we're recording, and it's going to be gone.
Fair enough.
Oh, where is it? Oh, it's in the Wakes
Mate,
fridge.
it's such a special moment in your beer journey that, as I told you, it is yours.
Well, I'm taking it
It
then.
belongs to you. And it's safe in my graveyard. Rhys, I mean, Evil Mega Corporation was probably one of the most fun ideas in the beer scene
Yep.
right now. Have you
Yep.
got anything else fun, as if you have time, in the works at all?
Yeah, I'm looking at actually also starting a podcast. Not
Cut him
not
off,
to
cut him
compete
off.
with you guys.
And thank you for joining us today on the Step Brewers podcast.
No, I'm looking to start a podcast, kind of like do deep dives on the brewing philosophy of just my mates, just my friends in the industry for now to start with. It's going to be called Craft Beer Exploded Diagram.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, if you can, for Craft Beer Exploded Diagram, Evil Mega Corporation, Otherside, you will see what I'm going to get up to.
Yeah, that's very
I love
exciting.
that. Well,
Good energy.
being the best beer podcasters in Australia, if you need any guidance, we're here for you, I guess, because we do it good.
You know I'm going to
Arguably,
be hitting you up. You know I'm going to be hitting
arguably the best in
You
Australia.
are
fucking up, bud.
Oh, dear me. But no, that's exciting.
You're definitely my favourite in Australia.
Oh,
Oh, thank you.
Well, it's
Finally,
Surprise, motherfucker.
that's all that matters.
finally, a guest that doesn't tell us that Beer Healer's the best. That's fucking really refreshing.
To be
He's never had
fair-
me on. He's never had me on.
Look,
No, he doesn't deserve to. He doesn't
he'd
deserve
probably bring you on. He's probably never had your beers, and he'd go, "Oh, tell me about your beers. Tell me about your story."
it. Oh, you got to lay off him, man. He loves you, Lucky. He loves you.
He is actually a surprisingly nice bloke.
You apparently...
Shit podcaster.
Oh, before we go, apparently you unfriended him on Facebook, so you need to address
What?
that. Yeah.
No, I did not.
Keep that.
No, I absolutely did not.
Keep that
Did
for
you
raw
get on my
thoughts.
Facebook account? Sandra?
And that all being said, thank you very much, Rhys.
Yeah,
for
thank you, Rhys.
being on the show. We appreciate you. We love Otherside. We know that we're going to love Evil Mega Corporation.
Oh, so good.
And we're going to love your pod as well. So it's going to be all good things going into the later year of 2021, early 2022, I'm sure. And we're definitely going to get you back on. Be rude not to, wouldn't it?
Steppy Award winner. He has a right.
He does. That's what happens when you get given a Steppy. Not quite the big trophy here right next to me yet, but I'm sure it's anything's possible. So that has been it for Step Brewers episode 70.
68?
60. Oh, don't
69.
Oh, I'm so confused.
I think it was definitely 68.
69.
Look,
No, because last episode you said 68 and it was actually 67.
this has been Step Brewers podcast episode 68, 69, and 70 with Rhys.
Hello from the other side.
We see you later.
Thanks for listening to the Step Brewers podcast. If you like the show, be sure to rate, subscribe, and leave a review to help other beer lovers discover the podcast.